This video is sponsored by Neewer. One of the most important aspects when it comes to filmmaking, whether you're shooting a commercial, a full-length feature film, or a video here on YouTube, is lighting. Today I want to talk about the Neewer FS150B, which is a 130 watt LED light. Now, Neewer sent this light out for review and they are sponsoring this video. However, they do not get to see it before I post it, and these thoughts are my own. I could have set this light up in my office and only given you talking head examples here in studio of how this light works. I'm currently using it to key this video, as well as a few of the videos that you've seen over the past couple of months. But I wanted to put this through a real world test, and thankfully I had a project that I was asked to come out and DP for my director friend Justus. And real quick, shout out to Justice Stewart. He is a phenomenal director here on YouTube. He specializes in short narrative work, so check his channel out. I'm gonna link it down below in the description. Again, a phenomenal director and also a very close friend of mine, so thank you, Justus, for having me out on the production. The mission that we put the 150B on was to be our key for our good friend Manny Torres, who is a recording artist based out of Chicago. I will also link Manny's channel down below. He's been featured on American Idol. He's done duets with Jordan Sparks. But for this project, we wanted to use the 150B as a key light for a sit and lit interview with Manny that we're going to feature in a short documentary, as well as a live studio session with Manny and his band. Over the course of the 2-day shoot, I learned 3 things about the 150B that I think could be advantageous for anyone looking to pick it up, whether you are a professional, a prosumer, or a hobbyist shooting videos here on YouTube. These are 3 things that I noticed about the 150B. The first point of contention with the 150B is the size of this light versus the power output. This is such a small packaged light. Whenever I got the box in the mail, it didn't seem like it could really be a 130 watt light. With this small form factor, I believe that the 150 has an advantage over a lot of other lights in this class. It can be fit into smaller spaces, which came in very handy whenever we were in the studio shooting the live session. That occurred at Narwhal Studios in Chicago, which is a great studio, but the actual space itself is fairly small. The 150, we were able to squeeze it into a corner to key Manny with, and it had a very small footprint, which was good for me and Justice because we shot this video as a one take, so we needed to have the mobility around the studio to be able to move our cameras around and really create a floating style scenario. Now, as far as the power output, again, as mentioned earlier, this is a 130 watt light, which for most scenarios indoors is plenty of power. The only thing that we were trying to match to in Manny's sit and lit interview were some tungsten lights that were hanging up overhead. We did have a window off to our left. However, we decided to not put it into frame because it was causing a little bit too much of a mixed lighting scenario. But the 150 is plenty powerful for most of your interior scenes. And again, I'm using it to light this scene right here where I'm keeping my detail in the outside. So I believe it has plenty of power when it comes to keeping most detail in windows whenever you're shooting interior shots. If you are taking this light outside, it may not be powerful enough to compete with the sun. If you are trying some sort of backlit sun situation, would definitely recommend probably going a 300 watt or a 600 or even a 1200 watt light option. But again, for most interior shots, the 150 I believe is plenty powerful. The second feature that I like about the 150B is the app integration. Neewer has a Bluetooth controlled app for this light so that you're not having to go back to the back of the light and swap dials and flip switches on and off. It's a very intuitive app, and in order to get the light connected, all you have to do is simply turn the light on, fire up your app, and it will add the device automatically. With the app, you can control everything from color temperature to output to the actual intensity curve, which is how the light, ramps up its power. You can also control some of the specialty features like the police option, the TV option, fire option, and you can use this app to link multiple lights so that you can control all of them from your cell phone. I found the app very handy whenever me and Justice were in the interview scenario because we were able to stay at the back of the camera and make adjustments right there versus having to go to the light, up to the talent where Manny was sitting and make adjustments. We were able to do that with the phone standing right next to the monitor so that we could change our exposure, change our color temperature. Very helpful to have that app, and it worked seamlessly, still works seamlessly for me as well. I use it here in my studio. So Neewer, good job on the app, and I love the integration. The third argument that I'm going to make for the FS150B is the versatility. Now, I kind of alluded to it earlier, but this is a bi-colored light that goes all the way from 2700 Kelvin up to 6500 Kelvin, so it's a very easily integrated light into multiple color temperature situations. The situation that we found ourselves in for Manny's interview, again, was a library where we were matching to tungsten colored lights. They were up overhead and they were coming in at about 2700 Kelvin. Which for us was very easy to match with the 150B. I just slid the slider on the app over to 2700, matched my intensity to motivate our light, and we were done. We were ready to set it and shoot. Not only does the fact that this light is bi-colored make it very handy and very versatile, but again, the power output makes this light useful for a lot of scenarios. If we did not want to use it as a key light, it actually is able to power down enough to where you can use it as a hair. You can use it to create some ambient tone inside of a room in case you need to bring your room levels up. It's a very versatile light. Again, that 130 watt power output is great to use as a key. It's great to use for ambient. It's great to use for a rim or a hair light. And again, it could be used possibly for some outdoor situations. I just wouldn't try to overpower the sun with it. Let's talk about the price point and where this light falls. I know right now on Amazon you can get this light on sale for anywhere between $180 to $200, which with the accessories that comes with it, it comes with a bowl, it comes with a carrying case. I think that's a pretty good steal. A lot of other lights in this class are well over the $200 mark, and as you start adding power, the sky's the limit as far as price goes. I know my Nanlite 300, I believe, was about $700. Obviously you have Aperture with their options, and even the Amaranth options are pretty expensive comparatively speaking. I believe that Neewer have priced this light very well at that $180 to $200 mark. With any piece of filmmaking gear, there are going to be downsides, and the biggest downside to me that I've noticed with the 150 actually relies in the power itself, and I don't mean the intensity, but I mean the way that you power it. A lot of your COB lights have a direct power cable that goes into the back of the light. However, with the 150B, it has a two-prong plug-in that goes into a small power conditioning box that then goes into an XLR to the back of the light. I find this to be a little bit cumbersome. The cable's not really long enough from the XLR to the box to totally reach the floor when I have it on a C-stand, so I found myself having to tape the conditioning box to my light stand anytime I used it and had to raise the light up. Also, I'm not a huge fan of two-prong plug-ins. I would love for it to have three prongs, that way we had a ground. So that's something that maybe Neewer can improve on in the future, is possibly looking at just a straight into the back of the light cable, or give us a three-prong setup with a little bit more reach from the XLR to the box. When it comes to reliability, I have had zero issues with this light as far as overheating. I've never experienced the fan being too loud when it starts getting hot. As a matter of fact, it's dang near silent in every situation that I've put it in. And typically here at my desk, I keep it on all day long. I use it kind of like a little ambient desk light. For Manny's shoot, we kept it on the whole time. Again, it didn't really get hot. I heard no fan noise. And so for reliability's sake, I think this is a great option if you're trying to light a space or light people all day long, really. I've not had any issues with it as far as overheating, even when you've got it on its highest output setting. It's a very reliable light. I've never had it cut out. So for that, I can vouch for it. It's been very reliable, which is pretty impressive, again, considering the price point that this light falls in. In closing, I want to reiterate the fact that this light, I believe, is powerful for a lot of different users. Whether you're a beginner, whether you're a professional or a prosumer, I believe this light will do well for a lot of different people in a lot of different situations. It has plenty of power for interior scenes, it has a very versatile and intuitive app, and it's very reliable. Again, I've not experienced any overheating issues, any loud fan noise. It just works. It is a solid light. Again, I've been using it here in my studio for the past few weeks to key these videos, and it's been wonderful. It's been a wonderful light for me. But I want to know your thoughts. What are your favorite budget-friendly lights in the 100 to 200 watt range? Also in the $150 to $300 price point. Would love to know those down in the comments below. As mentioned before, thank you to Justice Stewart for having me out on this project.
Yeah, no, I do, and it felt weird, and I was scared, I was alone.
Thanks to MANNY TORRES for also having me out and trusting me to DP this project. Check out their channels below. I'm going to throw them down in the description as well. And thanks to Neewer, again, for sending the FS150B out for review. Thank you guys for sponsoring this video. And as always, thank you for being a part of this channel. I love growing this community here on YouTube. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you in the next.